Okay, in this first section we're going to be taking a look at 1-string, 2-string and also 3-string arpeggio ideas. But first off, what I'm going to do is going to be going through some arpeggios just on the 1-string, which will be the high E string. I'm going to show you the 3 shapes that we're going to be using just so you can get used to playing those before we do the musical example. So here's the first pattern. Okay, this is an E minor arpeggio on the high E string, and we're going to start with a tap on the 19th fret on the high E, pull off to 12, hammer on to 15, so we've got... Okay, so that's the first half. Then the next part of the pattern, we're going to tap 19 again on the high E string, pull off to 15, then pull off to 12. So we're almost reversing around what we did the first time. So the first time, second time. So okay, now we're going to play an E major arpeggio, and what we're doing is we're just moving up from the 15th fret to the 16th fret on the high E string, and we're going to do the same pattern. So start on 19 with a tap on the high E string, pull off to 12 and then hammer on to 16. Okay, then we're going to tap 19, pull off to 16 and then pull off to 12 for the second half of that lick. So first half, second half. Okay, so at slow tempo we've got this. Okay, what I suggest you do now is just to practice between changing from minor to major. So at slow tempo you should have something like this. Okay, if you speed it up a bit more, it should sound a bit more like this. And once you get really comfortable with it, just try and do it as fast as you possibly can. Okay, the third and final position we're going to be looking at is an E diminished, and we're going to be starting with a tap on the 18th fret on the high E string, pull off to 12, hammer on to 15. Okay, then the second half we're going to tap on 18 again, pull off to 15, pull off to 12. Okay, so at a slow tempo, let's see how that sounds. Speed it up a bit more. And once you get comfortable with that, speed it up even more. Okay, so now we've looked at those 3 arpeggio positions, what I suggest you do is to actually practice them one after the other. So we're going to start with minor, then go to major, then go back to diminished, what we just looked at, and then to minor again. So at slow tempo we should have this. Then once you get comfortable, just speed it up a bit more. And speed it up even more once you get even more comfortable with it. So. Okay, I must stress throughout these exercises that it doesn't really matter how many times you play each arpeggio. You could play each one once if you wanted, but it's just literally to kind of get used to visualising those shapes, because it's really going to help with the musical example. Right, well that actually leads me into the first musical example, which I'm now going to play through, and then we'll break it down. And we're only going to be using minor and major shapes for this, so let's get on with it. Okay, so we're starting off in E minor. Okay, so again, 19, pull off to 12, hammer onto 15, tap 19, pull off to 15, pull off to 12, and we're going to do that 4 times. 2, 3, 4. Then on each 4th time round, we're going to shift to the next position. So the next one is going to be C major, and we're going to start on the 15th fret on the high E, then pull off to 8, hammer onto 12, tap 15, pull off to 12, pull off to 8. Then we're going to move up to D major, and that's basically that shape that we just played, but everything's 2 frets up. So now we're going to start on 17 on the high E, pull off to 10, hammer onto 14, tap 17, pull off to 14, pull off to 10. Okay, so far at slow tempo, this is what we should have. Okay, then after that we're going to move down to B minor, so we're going to start on 14 on the high E, pull off to 7, hammer on 10, tap 14, then we're going to pull off to 10 after that, and then pull off to 7. Then back up to C major. Then down to A minor, which is tap 12 on the high E, pull off to 5, hammer on to 8, then tap 12, pull off to 8, pull off to 5. Then we're going to move up to B major, and that's going to be the last arpeggio change. So which you're going to play for 8 times this time round. And we're going to tap 14, pull off to 7 on the high E, then we're going to hammer on 11, then tap 14, pull off to 11, pull off to 7. Okay, so the whole example slow should sound like this. Okay, this second tapping exercise is also going to include the diminished shape that we looked at in the beginning of this section. So let me just play through the example and then we'll break it down. Okay, we're going to be starting off in E minor again, and we're going to play that 4 times. Okay, then we're going to move up to G major, and we're going to be tapping 22 on the high E string, pulling off to 15, hammering on to 19, tap 22, pull off to 19, pull off to 15, and do that twice. So we've got Then we're going to move down to D major and play that twice. Then we're going to go back up to E minor, play that twice. Then down to C major, up to D major, then down to B minor. So far we've got this. Okay, now we're going to move up to C major, and we're going to play this 4 times, so we've already seen this pattern. Then we're going to move our first finger up to the 9th fret on the high E string, keeping the 3rd finger and the tapping finger in the same place, and play C sharp diminished. Okay, then we're going to move up to D major. Okay, we've already seen that again, so here it is. Then we're going to move up to E flat diminished, and that's just going to be moving your first finger up to the 11th fret on the high E string, 14 on the high E, then 17 on the high E as well for tapping. And then the same pattern applies. So at a slow tempo, that whole exercise too should sound like this.